and we were treated to the most spectacular flying exhibition I have ever witnessed. He spun, he looped, he did vertical eights, he did every aerobatic maneuver I know about as the loudspeaker system played classical music. No engine noise, just classical music and the sailplane soaring against the blue vault of heaven. The silent crowd watched, mesmerized. His mastery of his craft was total, his exhibition a tour de force. These are the words of Stephen Kuntz in his book, The Cannibal Queen. In it he recounts watching Manfred Radius right here at one of the Sun and Fun air shows. My first encounter with Manfred was a phone call that I received from a strange guy with a strange accent. He said that he had heard that I had a plane with a tow hook, and he wanted to know if I would tow for him at an air show. I thought it was a prank call and I nearly hung up on him. But I didn't. And later on, at this very place, here in Lakeland, I performed at my first air show ever with Manfred Radius. This began 3 years of working closely with Manfred as his chief tow pilot. Manfred began in the late 70s and early 80s, competing in many aerobatic glider competitions. He would often travel to Europe where he would routinely be the only North American in the competition. In 1985, he traveled to Australia so he could represent Canada at the first Glider World Aerobatic Championship. Manfred was the first ever to perform inverted ribbon cuts in a glider, and later on he became the first person to do one over water in a glider. He has thrilled audiences for decades with his routine that he calls the ultimate, which provides a striking contrast to the noise generated by all the other powered aircraft. He's also famous for his night shows, which feature bright fountain pyrotechnics strapped to his wings as he pirouettes through the night sky accompanied by classical music. I remember the first time I ever towed him at night. It was at the Florida International Air Show in Punta Gorda. It was such an eerie feeling being up in the airplane and knowing he was back there because the plane was barely climbing, but not being able to see him or hear him. Manfred has been in many TV shows, including That's Life, Stunt Masters, Magic in the Air, Skybound, The Science of Fun, and the hit Canadian show The Aviators. Even with all this, he takes the time to instruct at his local soaring club near Toronto. He's been an inspiration to many would-be glider pilots and youth. He's one of the most down-to-earth pilots you'll ever meet, always humble, always with kind words to say about others. He always takes the time to speak with the members of the audience, especially the children. He's one of the best people that you could possibly have as an ambassador of aviation. Last year, I was with my daughters in Winston-Salem at an air show. We were just there as spectators, and even though it had been many years since Manfred and I had worked together, he actually spotted me in the crowd. He invited us over to the performers' tent and spoke with my girls, encouraging them to work hard and to pursue their dreams. He introduced them to all the other performers and to a local congresswoman. Then we all went out into the crowd, and for the next 2 hours, he spoke and interacted with all of his fans and took the time to speak with each and every child there. This is an example of the kind of person that he is. We're here today to welcome our newest inductee into the flight path of fame. Any pilot can put on a show if they have enough of that noisy horsepower, but Manfred, you have taught us all the elegance of silent flight. With all that you've done to inspire, encourage, and thrill us over the decades, it is a great pleasure to see you recognized as one of the elite of the aviation community and as the newest inductee into the aviation flight path of fame. Let's hear it for the Sailplane Superstar, Manfred Radius.